Things of that nature, and you owe it to yourself. Oh.
What's good with it, world? What's up? What's up? What's up? Another episode that we got going on here with that live, the session live, Sundays at 9 p.m. with your host, Doc Madness. Unfortunately, today we will not be having one of our in studio individuals, affiliates of Sweatshop Recordings and Demolition Men Productions, Tony Effects. He did have prior engagements to handle some things, so hopefully everything gets handled in a timely manner for you, my bro. And hopefully you're tapping in and wishing you all the best. Catch you on the next episode. We are having some technical difficulties as always with StreamYard. My co-host, Chef D, he's actually on and off, so we should be looking for him to pop on here shortly. Hopefully we can get him. We're having audio situations and issues with him as well. But anyhow, just want to welcome everybody to another session, another episode of the session live with TOTN, because you owe it to yourself to stay tapped in, right? We got a lot of stuff going for you guys, man, staying busy and also elevating and keeping things moving right along. As we know, today it is going to be a show about music, the industry, stuff that is pertained into it. For the past couple of sessions, we've been having some good conversations in regards to AI and how it pertains into the modern day way of producing and creating music. We will be going ahead and tap into that as well. We got some good information in regards to that. So give me 1 second here. Give me a moment. I do apologize. Give me one moment. All right, y'all. Sorry about that. Had a couple technical difficulties on this end too, but we got those all squared up. I am still looking for my co-host. Hopefully everything gets good. But for right now, we're gonna go ahead and take a quick break. We're gonna do what we do, and that's go ahead and fill in all the segments that we have going here on our show, so that way you're fully aware. So we'll go ahead. What up? What up, y'all? Thank y'all for tapping into things of that nature, where culture connects. I'm one of your hosts, Doc Madness, also known as Thing Dose. And remember, you owe it to yourself to stay tapped in with us across every lane. First of all, y'all could turn it up with what's in your playlist. Playlist, the curated soundtrack of life from your host, our guest, and y'all, the listeners, the thinksters, right? Hungry for more? Well, we got y'all covered. We got the one and only Cal Grizzly Chef D in the kitchen, y'all. We're putting something good in your belly. From snacks to soul food, everything in between, that comfort cuisine with that left coast kings. Dive deep into the music scene, creation, and culture with the session hosted by yours truly, Doc Madness, and affiliates such as Tony Effects, straight out of Sweatshop Recordings and Demolition Men Productions. And then we go ahead and move over to Unfiltered Combos, where you get the headlines raw and real. No fluff, no filter. That's right, just pure truth for our thinksters. And when it comes down time to elevate and ease the mind, we got y'all on that one too. Stone, not stupid, y'all. Bringing clarity, facts, and cannabis conversations for the 420 enthusiasts. And don't want to miss out. If you want to know exactly what we puffing on, we drop in post with your strain of the days, and we share what we're inhaling with y'all. And we would like to know what y'all smoking on as well while we pushing that culture line. And it don't stop there, man. Just when y'all thought it was safe, we still catch us live too. We got the session live every Sunday night at 9 p.m. And then also we bring the heat to the field and the courts with Sports Talk Wednesdays live every Wednesday at 1 p.m. So we hope to catch y'all there, man. Stay tapped in. This is things of that nature. Stay locked, stay lifted, and always remember, you owe it to yourself to stay tuned in right here with Chef D and Doc Madness. Things of that nature. Yeah. Welcome
Yes,
back. Welcome
sir.
back. There we go. We got what
Can I
it
be
do. What it
heard?
do.
Do you hear me now?
Yeah, we got you, man. We got
For
you. We
sure, for sure.
we we
What's up with
figuring
it?
it
Thanks.
all out as we go, man. It's one of those things, bro. That's
Yes,
nothing though.
sir.
Yeah,
Yep.
man. Nice to have you back on another session, man. The live at 9
Bro.
p.m. on Sundays, my guy.
You know it.
Yeah, how you been?
Almost missed it. Almost missed it, man. I passed not
Well,
not not just because of the technical difficulties. I passed up on a concert. I didn't
oh,
feel like
say it.
going back out again. So Afro
Okay.
Man was out here
Yep.
in the area, but I had a full day of day drinking yesterday at the 21st anniversary of the Hops and Humboldt. So we
Okay.
was out there VIPing it up and
Getting it in.
sipping on all the brews and stuff like that. You
Right,
know me.
right. For sure, man. That's what it do,
Yeah.
bro. That's what it do. Well, good to hear. How was your weekend, man? I know you said you got all of that going. Everything turned out good with the event, and
Yeah,
things like
man.
that.
We
Good,
had a
good.
good time. Hung out with some folks, and for some reason, people like me. I guess so.
I don't
Yeah,
know why,
I was, I
man.
was I was approached repeatedly throughout the day. I had on them. I was rocking them Scooby Doo's from
Oh, that's
Mellow,
why.
LaMelo Ball,
The
man,
mellow,
and
the mellow ball Scoobies, man.
yeah.
Hell yeah.
So this being Humboldt County, come on,
Mm-hmm.
everybody was like, I
A
like this.
hippie.
I had a shirt and the kick, so they was like, yeah. So they kept stopping me. People were stopping me left and right.
Mm-hmm.
But we had a good time though, man.
Good shit.
Hanging
Good
around
shit.
people, good shit, man. Like,
Right.
everybody, 21 and up, you know what I mean? Kind of just, people out there having fun, man. So yeah, it was a good time, good time.
Good to hear, man. Good to hear,
Yes,
bro.
sir.
Well, I'm
How
glad
y'all
I'm
doing
glad
out there with that heat?
we ain't gonna talk about it, bro. The heat is just ridiculous. And you know how it goes, bro. It's 115, 112, 115, 113. You man, everybody starts acting crazy. But
You
the,
know
the
it.
trip about it was is that we had that for about 3 or 4 days, and then on the fifth day or Saturday, I should say, man, it rained. So it was humid as all hell. It wasn't like it cooled us down. I mean, it was a cool little breeze. The sun wasn't beaming, so it wasn't cooking us. But
Yeah.
I would say that it was humid, bro. And still kind of humid. Like I said, that was just yesterday. So yeah, it's still and it heated right back up again today. Well, to the high temperatures, I should say. So anyhow,
Okay.
that's them playing with the weather, the sun, doing what they do, bro. We just humans.
Yeah, we know what they doing something. It's
And
too hot for no
that's
reason, bro.
combos, right? We'll get into all of that, man. I got a whole
Yeah,
bunch of new stuff on that too, man. I've
yeah.
been
We'll get on that another day.
research on. But back to the matter at hand, right here. This is sport. I almost messed up, bro, because this is a new live. This is the
Yeah.
session live, man. So let's go ahead and tap in on the agenda today. We got some vinyl versus streaming. Like I said, I always try to bring the present with the past and see, what I'm saying, where there's a disconnect and try to bring it all full circle. We got rappers that are having some issues with AI, legends
Okay.
returning, and also using some AI in that aspect. Once again, I'm bringing all of this full circle, and LL Cool J crowning himself the GOAT. I know we've heard it, but I guess he was in an interview most recently talking about it again. I'm just going to go over and dive some into that and also give you a little update on how things are going with my experiences moving through with the AI and, I'm saying, getting all of that good stuff. So that's kind of like what we got set here. Hopefully everybody buckle up, I'm saying, seatbelts ready, and we'll go ahead and get ready to dive in. If you're ready, my guy, we can go ahead and push the throttle.
Let's get it cracking.
All right, man, let's go. Let's go. All right, so first thing that I want to go ahead is vinyl versus streaming. You know, basically what's going on is that we have vinyl coming back. Vinyl starting to make a comeback. I'm not too aware if you're out there that know that. Effects and I was sending some stuff back and forth, and they got this new thing that it's a it's a record player, vinyl, tape, cassette, CD player, everything all in one, bro. And it's basically in high demand right now. So just to get people knowing that everybody isn't always just looking to download and stream, man. There are people that still like the nostalgia of looking at credits, reading, having that collecting, because you can't collect anything nowadays with it being digital. I mean,
Yep.
you know what I'm
Exactly.
saying? It's hard. I know who was it? Tyler the Creator came out with some box sets. A couple other people, I think the Clips did one as well. So these are box sets, and the way people are trying to get back that nostalgia and they're selling. You know what I'm saying? It's not like they're just sitting.
Yeah,
I
they are.
know
Yeah. Cute did it.
Yeah, not only that, you just sent me whatchamacallit just did it with the new, but it's not a
Chance the
hot set.
Rapper.
Chance the Rapper, he's doing something new with digital. So this is the reason why we like
Yeah.
to bring this stuff to this platform. We had to open it up because there's so much going on and so much turning fast that it's hard to stay up with it, man. So hopefully we can keep you guys tapped in. Anybody that's doing music, if we got anything that's incorrect or maybe our facts may be a little off here or there, you know what I'm saying? Leave us a comment, correct us, man. We're not
Yeah.
perfect. We are human. So just let us know. We're not trying to be perfect. We're just trying to, bring the information so that way people could have a platform, especially a trusted platform with the information. So anyhow,
Exactly.
um, I do got a question, just out of curiosity with you. I mean, I know you love music, bro, but how many times do you figure um, that you have went to look for like a hard copy of something like a CD, and you was like, "Damn, I wish I had that CD." Or do you still carry CDs, or I'm not even gonna say cassettes,
Most of
but
my well,
yeah, well,
all my cassette collection mysteriously disappeared
I remember that
out of my
conversation.
garage.
Hmm.
Uh, Yeah, we've talked about that plenty of times. Yeah, that still
Oh,
irritates me to my soul because I
right,
had some fucking classics. But
that part.
yeah, there's times where I wish I did have that CD. Like
Hmm.
man, I remember I used to have this CD, like the artwork, the credits. Like I was big on that stuff. I wanted to know who was writing rhymes, who was producing, like
Right,
what I'm saying, who's who. Like you know,
right. That's why it's
it
kind
was
of
just
weird
it,
on
I wanted to see that
nowadays.
artwork. You want to open that cassette and
Right.
unfold it and see what they
And that's
were
what I'm
doing.
saying.
And
Nowadays, it's kind of weird because you don't know much of who's doing what. Like I know
yeah,
the name Hans Zimmerman, or Hans Zimmer, I think his name is the dude who does Star Wars and all these motion picture, like these big orchestra type scores. I would have never known this individual or who his name is or have any type of recollect of that if it wasn't for the black hole, like you know what I'm saying, and reading the who's doing what and who's creating what in Star Wars when
yeah,
you listen to the theme music, and that's another thing. Do they even sell music to these uh movies? The you know what I'm saying? Like there's stuff that's
bro.
created.
It's yeah. There's been times where I've watched movies just recently. It was a Fast and Furious movie.
Hmm.
One of them, Hobbs and Shaw. We was
Okay.
watching a couple of days ago, and there was a song on there, and I was like, "Damn, that song kind of dope." I wonder who did that song. Do they have a soundtrack for this shit? And surprisingly, they did. But a lot of times when I look up a soundtrack, right? You watch a movie, you hear a couple songs, you're like, "Damn, let me go look that up." A lot of those albums, man, they just take random songs that's already been out. A lot of
Right.
it doesn't
Right. You're
seem to be songs created
right.
for that particular movie. And
Hmm.
nowadays it seems like there's only like one particular soundtrack for that movie. The rest is just some shit they got the rights to and was able to
Right.
use, right? That
Hmm.
they paid for or whatever, because some of it's not really original music. It's coming off of albums from the past. And I noticed that too. A lot of older music is played more than newer music in a lot of
Right.
movies.
You're
So
right about that. You're right.
it's
The longevity of it, right? It's
yes,
timeless.
it shows
A
you
lot of the
timeless.
music, a lot of the music now is in this era. So it's going
Yep.
to be interesting to see. But everything evolves, so it's going to be interesting
Yeah,
to see on
yeah.
how the modern day music is used in film and syncing and
Yeah.
licensing stuff of that nature down the road.
It just
But yeah,
seems like it's not it's like one theme song, like the movie Venom. You
right,
had Eminem's Venom, and then that was pretty much it. And that just
right.
happened to come off that. He added that to the album, I think.
Let
His album as
me
well.
let me throw a monkey wrench in there. See, these are songs. See, now what I'm asking though is the instrumentals, the theme music, right? Like I remember
Oh,
when I
bro,
had hit
I don't
you up.
think you find that. I haven't looked. That's hard.
Exactly.
That's you
It,
got
it,
man, that's hard to find, bro. Like the score. Oh, that shit, bro.
right.
Yeah.
And not only that, it's hard. Who's looking for it? Like most people aren't even looking at credits to even go search for it. So, and I know I had hit you with this about Chief of War, the
Yeah.
new movie with Aquaman dude.
Yeah.
Um
Jason Momoa. Yeah, whatever.
Momoa, yeah,
Aquaman.
him. Man, awesome movie, bro. It's based on some true facts, you know what I'm saying? About how the Europeans came over and forced their way onto the lands and caused, all of the islands of Hawaii, the different islands, the different kings. You remember each one had a king, a ruler, da da da. Da. And if you've been there, you kind of hear the story when you're there about where the ones jumped off to their own death on this edge of the island. And that's the reason why you can only be so much, you have to have so much of, this in you to live over on this side of the island. That the whole story, right? So this goes deep into that. But anyway, what I was saying is that the score for that is a unique score. It's not a song. It's nobody choosing that. And and this is gonna separate 50 Cent kind of for what he does, because since he's doing movies, he does music, he writes, he's kind of like doing it all. So he does his own theme songs to his, stuff or whatever.
Yeah.
Um, but this one they tap back in and use that same dude who did Star Trek, and he's the one that's doing the music. That's kind of like what brought it all to me. And I was like, wow, man, this is crazy, because me looking and seeing, I'm like, this is dope. And I just happened to see that name come across the credits on the screen. And I was like, see, this is what's missing. A lot of people probably couldn't even correlate the two. But anyhow, I digressed a little bit, but let me get back to the talking point of the vinyl versus stream, why I brought it up. Because a lot of people would think that streaming is more eco-friendly than going and getting vinyl. Would you think that that is correct? Would you, at least with your knowledge, would you be like, hey, my knowledge base? Because when I first read it, I was like, yeah, sounds about correct. What about you?
You would think, because it's not digitally, you're not producing anything that you're,
Mhm.
it's not physical, right?
Right.
It's not a
Right.
physical item, so I guess was that the carbon footprint or whatever the fuck you call it, like
Exactly.
you're not.
That's exactly what it is. Yep. Mhm.
Yeah. So you would think that, but people think Priuses are good for the environment versus a Hummer.
Right. And we won't
And you
even
can do
get
your research and find out otherwise, but you
we
would
won't even
think,
talk about
right?
that. Right.
You would think, but same,
It sounds it sounds like it should equal to that. It sounds about right.
yeah.
But I would be here to kind of, after doing some research, bro, and questioning some of the things that I was reading, come to find out that it's not clear cut like that, bro. Because if you think about it, vinyl's a one-time production footprint. Once you, because remember, everything came off of a glass master. If we go right back into what we knew about how music was created and then mastered, and then the packing, the glass masters, what they spun everything off of, right? So once you have that, you're pretty much good to go. You don't have to go back, and you're not really creating much carbon cost or footprinting. Whereas streaming, it's a continuous carbon cost with every play. And the reason why I say that is because it has to be stored somewhere. So let's say I'm gonna use a song like, let's say, Flashlight, right? By good old
Parliament.
yeah, okay. So Flashlight. So that has to be stored. How many years? That's what, in the 70s. So we're looking at what, about 50 years now?
Yep, close to it, pretty
Good,
much.
it's
Yeah.
good to say, right? Okay, 50
Yeah.
years. So that has to be stored somewhere, bro. For somebody, when they today, if right now, if you get on a streaming platform or DSP or something and you press play, it's ready to go and play. So every time this happens, that creates more continuous carbon costs. Whereas a record, you got it, you pay. It's you that's doing it. It's at your disposal. It's you. It doesn't have to be hosted on a server that needs to have energy, that needs to be, you know what I'm saying, constantly
Continuous
maintained,
energy at that.
continuous. Because once again, if they don't, like right now, right,
You can't,
StreamYard
if I
is
go now
hosting.
and I go play, I hit play, and they say
If
no, we're not available till 11 in the morning and shit. You know what I'm saying? That's different, right? We got hours to this, but no, it's
right,
whenever, because the
right.
world doesn't stop moving anymore.
And I guarantee you this: if that happened, a lot more individuals would go back and start buying cassettes, vinyl, CDs,
Hey, you
whatever's
know me. You
available.
already know.
Right.
I've been I'm on a vinyl journey right
I
now,
know.
picking up
I
little
know. And
odds and
that's what caught
ends
my
and
eye. I was like, "Ooh, D's gonna like this," because Not only like I said effects, but you're one of the other individuals that I know that really does like that the tangible good. You know what I mean? More than just the digital mean. And especially when it comes to vinyl. And there's
Yeah,
something about
especially
when you
when you know it's an album that's meaningful to you, though. You're like, okay, I want that. I want to
Mhm.
be able to look at this. Like when I bought Superfly, right? When I saw the soundtrack, which is a
Right,
soundtrack to a movie,
right.
right? I was like, man, because I remember that being such a classic when I was young.
Mhm.
And I was like, first time I saw it, one of the best things I got out of Missouri. I love y'all. But yeah, was that Superfly at Walmart. You know what I mean? Like
Right, right.
at Walmart, bro. Yeah. But it
That's
was
what's
just something about being able to open it up,
Mhm.
look at it, the the artwork on the actual album, because I think they did it's a special edition gold album. So the
Mm,
whole album is gold versus the black. But so I mean, when you get something and
right,
it's unique and it's different, it means a
right,
little bit more than just clicking that download button and say play. You know what I'm
right,
saying?
right.
It
And
means
it
more.
puts something, like I said, while you're listening to it, once again, what do they say? The more senses that you please, the more you remember it. So, like if you're using sight, you're using your hearing, now you're also doing touch, right? So, the more and more senses that we add to the things that we want to remember and build those nostalgic feelings and euphoric values, right? It's going to be those things that we add more and more senses that we can recall upon to make those happen. Like I, I was young and I remember this. I just remember pulling the Prince album cover out, the one where he was on the Pegasus or whatever the case may be. You know what I'm talking about, bro. I was like, what the hell is going on here? Right? Like,
Yeah,
oh, whoa. And then what was also crazy about him is that was just the outside. Sometimes you had the ones that opened up two-way, you had ones that
yeah,
opened up three-way, then you had
yep,
ones that opened up like a four-way, bro, to where it's almost like a little mini poster. And the things
yep,
that you could do with those were ridiculous. Now let's go
yep.
into the
That's
inner.
kind of
Remember
almost
the
how the
sleeve?
Michael Jackson was, right? The Thriller was kind of
Right,
the
right.
whole yeah.
Saying, like,
Yeah.
you start to do it, there's so many things that you do with it. Then you have the sleeve that like not the inner sleeve that the record is actually the vinyl is in. People were being creative with that as well. So
Yeah.
you got multiple things out of an album, man. You had letters that were written to fans. You've had love letters that was written by somebody if that was a single that it was pertained to.
Yep. The
Pictures,
lyrics. I mean, Thriller
lyrics.
had all the lyrics to
Right,
every song in there. You know what I mean? Like that
right,
was
right.
it's karaoke original.
And it was
You know
something
what I
about
mean?
the
Like
way it sound too, like, there's a difference in the sound. A lot of
yeah,
people, especially when you're in music, those that do music, when you go to a studio and you're talking to a producer, an engineer, man, and shout out to the engineers because their ears back then were
oh, they hear different,
magnificent.
bro.
Well, not only
That's
that,
a
just think about live music and the way like effects brought this to my attention. He was like, if you go back and you listen to some of, do you know when you test the sound system, they play like a jazz or an older song that has live percussions and drums and I mean all of that, right? Because
yeah,
for one, it brings the essence. To mix that is one thing, bro, because everything has to have a space, everything has to have, and it still has to come through with clarity. Then your voice, that's a certain frequency, and then on top of that, bro, there was like the people that there was no the timing. Like it wasn't nothing that kept you in sync. Like right now we have metronomes and it keeps us, it's almost automatic. Man, they had to play, bro, and keep like you had a drummer for 7 minutes,
Bobby, you're
6 minutes.
off. Get it together.
Right. Or they once
Like
they
you know what
figured
I'm
it out, they knew how to all kind of maneuver, look at each other, give them an eye, kind of slow it down, do a swing thing, do like
saying? Yep.
a break and and bring it right back on and boom, and then they're right back in sync, bro. So anyhow,
Yeah.
bringing all of that, when you listen to that in the album, it was wide, it was thick, it was that was the analog that you get, right? It's always that.
Yeah.
Even just
And then that
that,
was having a good sound system in the house.
right? And
You
then
had
just
you
hearing
got
that
so you got your highs, lows, mids, your everything. Like
right.
you had to
And
have the
that's what I'm
house
saying.
set up right.
You are really gonna hear it.
There's Like
not
it
not
was
not that you wouldn't digitally, but digitally everything is enhanced. Right now, like one of the things that we have to realize is everything is super compressed, bro. There's really no room for anything to breathe at the top. So mastering labs that used to be able to bring all of this, they had all this headroom and space and level to mix and bring it out. Now everything comes in punch. Like, I mean, you're getting people are now recording with things that are already wet or have all of these sound effects and compressions to them. Whereas back in the days, bro, that was unheard. You had to make, you had to do everything
you
dry, and they
created.
added that at the end. They added that
Yeah.
afterwards, and I used to kind of hate that because it's amazing what those things do, right? When you hear something dry with no reverb, a little bit of chorusing, a little all of this, and you're like, man, that don't sound right. It doesn't sound like me. It doesn't sound live. Then as they start to add it, it's like, man, it brings life into it. It breathes something about it. So the thing about a vinyl, it allowed that to thicken. It allowed that to widen out. Um, Digital doesn't. So that's where you hear when you used to hear bleeding on the tape. When people say, "Oh, that was a tape bleed through," and that was just meaning because, hey, man, like that's the analog when they're slicing, they're doing this, and it bled from that track into another track, right? But anyhow, once again, a little bit of digression here. Just saying that it is coming back vinyl for those that never got a really chance to be around it, experience it, listen to it. It's just something different. It's a different way of enjoy the music. And one thing that I will say that vinyl brought that really nothing else did, not even cassette, it brought those B sides. Um, that was one of the big thing, bro. B sides on an album, you looked for that, right? Like, yeah, this is the single, but what's on the opposite side? Whether it's the instrumental, the extended version, the disco version, you know what I mean? Whatever the
Yep.
hell it may be,
Radio edits, like everything.
you
Yeah,
name it,
you look
you
forward to
name
that.
it, right? Or if
And
you
if you
bought the
was a hip
radio
hop
version,
head,
had
you was
the
trying to rhyme to
explicit.
that beat, right?
Right, right. You're just doing everything that you can, and then
Yeah.
the scratching. Nowadays, it's amazing that they turned it into a digital art. But I was worried about that for a minute. Like, how are these DJs going to be able to do what they do? But they found a way to digitize that as well.
Yep.
But yeah, man, it's crazy. It's definitely crazy. What were you going to say, bro?
Nothing. Nothing. I was
Right,
replying to I'm over here replying.
right.
We got like one of the viewers.
Okay,
I got an alert, so
that's right.
yeah.
No
And plus
worries,
I'm
no worries.
lagging because I got too much shit going on over here for some reason.
I feel you, bro.
You
I
know.
feel you
Yeah.
definitely. But it I think also last point on this part before we go to the next is that I also think that it made you listen to a full album. I know that sounds weird because you can easily just take the needle and move it, but how many people just stood by the record player and all of that just to go and skim through it, right? It was like you
You
played
never
it,
skipped it, man.
right, unless somebody bumped it, right? Then it's like, hey,
Yeah.
then you just go to the next song kind of deal. But it was one of
Yeah.
those things. I think it did make people listen to them all the way through. I think that was the error for that as well. So just something to know. You guys, hey, I want to know. I'm just curious out there, y'all thinksters, leave it in the comments. Anybody interested in seeing vinyl come back, or is it something that you're even familiar with? I would love to hear your spin and take on it because like I said, that was one of the things that I look forward to. I got my allowance. My mom took us to the record store, and man, that was the thing for me, man. Get the records, bring them home, break dance to them,
Me too.
do whatever, like learn them, write the songs down, rap the song along with it perfectly. Like everything about it, bro, is just something that I look forward to heavily. So,
Yeah.
um,
My parents didn't buy vinyl. They was like, you can take that hip hop stuff to your room. And hey, well, I had the cassette, the double deck cassette deck,
right.
that I begged
Yeah.
for, right?
Hmm.
And so, yeah, my dad didn't want to hear none of that shit.
I
He
can
was,
dig it.
he's a
Um,
fad.
Nice, right?
That's
Now
what he
look at you.
said. I remember when he said it. And I was like,
The world was
I was
saying
like,
that. The
yeah, the
world
world
was
was saying it. Yeah, he like, this ain't gonna last.
right,
Mhm.
right. So
And
I'm
now
glad it
you can't
did.
get away from it, right?
It's the number one form of music moving. Everything
Yeah.
has hip hop to it or rap or
Everybody
whatever.
rhyming.
You remember when rap was spelled different? Nobody knew how to spell it. Was it RAPP? Was it WRAP? Is it
Yep.
R-A-P? Like, it was one of those things, man. People was like, "Oh, yeah, I don't even know how to spell it, bro." It was so just dumped in our laps to be like, "Look, this is this new thing that we're doing." And I'm glad that I didn't have to deal with a parent or guardians that were trying to keep us away from it. I'm not saying that
Yeah.
one is
They
better
didn't
than
keep
the
me away from it. They just didn't want to hear it.
other, right? See, my mom was
So,
like,
and
man,
you
we
know, I
brought
was a
the tape in the car. She's playing it. We like the roof is on fire, burn the motherfucker. We in there doing it all as young, and my mom is right there with us.
I remember
So,
my dad thought he heard a cuss word in one of my cassettes. I forgot who it was.
man,
Big Daddy
I heard
Kane, and
that. Yep.
it was Big Daddy Kane, and like one of the only cuss words he had in the whole album was like "shit" or something like that. My dad was like, "That a cuss word?" I was like, "Man, you tripping? I don't know what you like. You don't understand this. This is new to you.
Right,
You ain't say that.
right.
You just rapping fast, you know." But
And just a flip.
and that was
Just
before the stickers.
yeah,
That was
you're
before the
right.
stickers.
Yeah, that
You know what
that
I'm
came
saying?
later.
And I
Yeah,
remember at one point
shit.
I used to peel the sticker off, so they didn't know anyway.
Yep.
Peel the sticker off because they was only ones who was putting them on there was NWA because Easy Ass was cheap and wasn't gonna put stickers on the outside.
Yeah, but a lot of them, I
They
don't
started
remember
putting
what
them on
music.
the cover or the
Yeah,
artwork.
but
You know?
the whoever was selling like Music Plus, Warehouse, Sam Goodies, all
Yep.
of these places, Power Records, they got in trouble though. They would have to be the ones doing it because they would get in trouble and they would get
Yeah,
fined. You had parents boycotting and stating like it was
yeah.
crazy.
But
I
it was
remember that.
crazy because I remember them. They would slap them on the outside of the package though. It's on the wrapper, so you peel the wrapper off, the Splinter Advisory coming off and everything with it. If they wasn't putting it on the actual, you know,
Right,
on the
right.
actual front of the cassette. So it's like it was kind of useless, you know, because by the time I
Yeah,
get it to the car,
but
it's
that
the
didn't
wrapper
last
already
long.
off.
That was probably about, two or like maybe I'll say probably like a few releases because everything wasn't releasing like it is now. Like every day
Yeah,
you're getting released. So back
not
then it
man. It was
wasn't that
every
didn't last
Tuesday,
long.
wasn't it?
Right.
Every
But it
Tuesday was
wasn't
a
even
new
always it wasn't always something coming out. That was just the days that they released new music, Tuesdays and
music.
Thursdays.
Yeah,
Right. But it didn't necessarily mean you look up there, you see like, oh damn, I gotta wait 6 months for that album. Right. So you see it on the little board and it tells you when it's coming. Then as you get close,
hmm
move the date back. So it's just like, oh man, it was crazy. But like, yeah, the whole explicit advisory, parental advisory, explicit stickers. Yeah, that was a big deal, bro. Because I remember going in and being ID'd on several occasions. I wasn't old enough to buy and purchase NWA. I wasn't old enough to purchase, these albums. Um, so at that point, what happened is I would have my girlfriend or my mom or my brother or somebody who was more, older that could, but they actually carded you, man. They actually carded you to get the music. So,
I had a
but
homie
yeah,
that worked at the spot.
oh, see, not me, bro.
He worked at the was it the Music Plus on the north side over there
Which
by
which one on Foothill, Indian Hill?
man, I think it's Indian Hill. I think it was Indian Hill.
I probably put that one out of business. Shh, don't tell nobody.
My boy, I walked in there. My mom was like, "You only got $10." I had like a whole bag. Homie was like, "Just go grab what you want. Don't even trip."
Right? That's tight.
Yep.
That's tight.
Had everything for the summer, bro. It was good. I had every new release for the summer.
That's what's up, man. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's one
That
thing
was a
too.
one-time lick, but it was the best.
And that's another thing with albums. You wasn't stealing albums.
Nah, you can't
Almost
steal no albums, bro.
impossible. Almost impossible. If it
Yeah.
was, you was stealing maybe one. You wasn't like I was going in there yakking whole like you wrote down on what you wanted. I can come out there. I had tapes galore, bro, but you ain't getting no albums. So anyhow, not trying to give no tidbits on that and whatever the case
Yeah.
may be. But
That's the
just want to say, man, I'm
start
looking
you.
forward to see where the vinyl right. I'm looking to see where this vinyl goes, man, because I'm definitely looking to grab something myself,
Yeah.
man.
Well, you do know overseas, especially in Japan and
Oh yeah,
China,
still big.
vinyl is really huge out there because of the hip hop scene. So
Well,
they really love vinyl.
they're behind when it comes into hip hop because people be like,
Yeah, I
oh,
know. That's what I'm saying.
they're technologically advanced, and I'm not saying in the world of technology. What I'm saying is the way the culture grew out here, they're behind. So you
Mhm.
know, And yes, when you listen to them, you're like, well, how they're coming up, they're doing this, they're doing that. What I mean by is what they have access to, what they've been grown up and groomed to listen to, right? What they had access to be able to go get. They're a little bit behind us, and anybody who's in the music industry or been overseas understand that.
Yeah, definitely.
All right. We're gonna take a quick break, real quick, man. And then we'll go ahead and get into our next segment here, which would be bringing up. We have some talking points on an artist, man, who had some issues, basically denouncing or having some negative aspects to speak on the AI and how that's being brought into the culture. We'll go ahead and dive into that in a second, but we will take a moment. I want to go ahead and give some shout outs to some local artists, some people that I know. Not going to name them individually right here, but just want to say, man, thank you for all the support. We are looking to get new people to come on the show. So if you know anybody, you know what I'm saying, tap them in, give them more information, and slide them through. But right now, we're going to go ahead and take a quick break and tap into something here by one of our guests, Kevin Ali.
Yeah, I know the company man gon' like this one. Let's get it. Jovan want beef, but these days bison is on the menu. And buffaloes, but flows ice coated in igloos and the snow but ice sickos. I'm sicko enough to diss you in this mode. My flow Astro Jedi like Mace Windu in this war full of stars. A supernova contributes to the birth of a new sun. My father, the light within you, that mean I'm son of Ra when I shine bright at these venues. I mean a demigod, I'm Hercules of the Central. You rappers don't got drive, y'all rather just call a Waymo. I got way more horsepower, can't entertain ponytails, your buns. I'm on your head like hairstylist, cosmetologist. Established foundations that's keeping my soul autonomous. I'm LA-matic, spit flows, making sure Nas be proud of this. I told you that I don't give a fuck, cause I'm not monogamous. Polygamy, I fuck over any beat for my inner peace. I keep a piece of safe for these rappers in case they want the heat. Fire burning inside of me. I came from the dirt and rose from the ashes. This goofy said I'm doing this for clout, don't question my passion. You diss the West Side, know your angle, trust you don't want that action from Kenny. He a legend, jealousy is disguised as passion. We have a hater. Not calculated, know you're sloppy Joe. I eat him for lunch. You haven't gated if you're next to Joe. I kill him in bunch. I got the juice up in the boxing ring. A lyrical punchline defines who run this like Gump. It's time to face me like video calls from an iPhone. Bygones be bygones. I spin the block just like the cyclone. Do bang, spray this shit up like the magic night bombs. Put the fire out with my waves like where the fuck my Triton. This ain't no East versus West, so you upset because the West had to check you for hating on us. That'll lose your respect. You can big up the East without trying to hate on the West and challenge the top dog to prove and show the world you're the best. Instead, you rather clout chase, take shots and throw bait at Kendrick and Cole. You plan to beef and hope the beef increase the records you sold. Cause you don't do this for the love of the game, the fame what you chose. I'm blacking out on ops like zombies, gotta fetch me their souls.
Yeah.
Part of a two-part song there. That's one part called My City by Kevin Ali. Check him out. I know he recently had dropped a new project called The Central, man. So go tap in if you haven't already and go give him some support. And yeah, man, go enjoy some good lyricism, some good music, and representing that West.
You do know that. Yeah.
All right, now. So, all right, let's go ahead and let's dive into this next segment, or part of the segment, I should say, which is Freddie Gibbs, man. For anybody who don't know, Freddie Gibbs is he's an astute lyricist, basically somebody that's prominent in the game, and he was saying, or had an interview in regards to how AI is looked upon and what his opinion is in bringing AI into the game. And basically, quote unquote, he says, using AI to write lyrics is lazy. Culture is losing its authenticity. Basically, he's saying it's creativity versus convenience. That is the big debate that's going on, that's behind doors. And that's basically how it's being looked at when it comes to AI. So does AI strip emotion from hip hop? D, do you think that there's really it's a laziness that goes on? Because he's saying straight up, we in a lazy day and age. Where's the
Yeah,
penmanship? Late nights and the writer's block. Where's all of that? If AI is writing it, where's the pain? Where's the story? What do you feel, bro?
yeah, true. I I agree with that, but then I agree if that's the route you're taking as an MC. I'm just gonna have AI write my shit
Right.
and be there. But if you are experimenting with what AI can do for you, as in terms of you using your own lyrics, your own melodies, whatever, and all of that, and asking AI to help you create something different. That's a little different than you just saying, "Hey, I'm gonna be a rapper." Me and fucking Copilot, he's gonna write my rhymes for me and say, "Write me a radio tune that's horribly and filthy and shitty and doesn't really rhyme good," and they'll do it for you, right? That's a little, but make it sound good.
Right. Right.
It's a
Now let me
difference.
ask
It depends on what you're doing with it. It just depends, man. It's a
you, right.
thin line. Like we said before, it's a gray area, right? It's a
And that's
very
why I like
gray area.
keep bringing different
You know
different
what I'm saying? So
real life
it's
situations that's going on to the table
yeah,
to hear it
because
because it's crazy.
coming from someone like him, I get it. Because that
Mhm.
man is a verbal gymnast, right? Like
And not
he
only
get
that, he
down.
produces. I mean, he plays
Like,
instruments. He does
yeah,
everything.
so he's a
So
real artist.
right, right,
He's not just a rapper. He's an artist. He
right.
does a little bit of everything, right?
Mm,
So for him, yeah, he's especially when he's put all these years into the grind and into his craft, and then
mhm,
some some dude behind the keyboard come up and say, "I want to be a rapper," and then he got AI,
mhm.
making up stories for him. You know what I mean? I
Right,
can see where
right.
that can irritate you, especially if that person like shoots into stardom or fame or whatever it's called, whatever you want to call it, right? Then
Mhm.
yeah, that's kind of a problem because you're not doing it for the culture. You're not a true lover of the culture. You don't love the culture. You just looking for the quick buck. You're looking for some bread, some cash. So I can see how that would piss off a real artist. But on the
Mhm.
other hand, if he was taking his music, Freddie Gibbs, taking his music and putting it in the AI and say, "Hey, give me something to where I could branch off into another genre without, for whatever reason, right?
Mhm.
Give me turn this shit right here into a country song for me." You know what I'm saying? Like anything,
See,
whatever it is, or make this help me, turn
mhm.
this into a kid story. I don't know, whatever. That's
Right,
different
right.
because you're just asking it to give you something that's maybe outside of your thought process, wheelhouse, whatever it is. So that's just. So it's beneficial, but
Yeah,
then it's not because it depending on the person. We've been saying this. It's based on the person's intentions, what they're trying to use it for.
right. Um, and
You know, and
just to
it,
add to that, if you don't mind, real quick, I I'm kind of like on the fence, but because, like you said, Freddie gives who it's coming from,
yeah,
how it's being said. Once again, I'm just taking little blurps, but listening to the full and reading the conversation, I fully understand, bro. Because what he's saying is things that make a logical sense, whereas writer's block, that's a real thing, right?
yeah,
That was a
and you got to go do something to
yeah. You what are you doing to
like
get out of writer's block? Oh, you don't have to no more because you have this where you can
it's,
just go type in a
it's
prompt.
bullshit. Yeah, yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Now, I think a lot of it comes in the mindset. So not just the person, but the mindset of where they start. Because the difference of that person saying is what you just said. If he's doing and taking his music or doing what something of that nature that he's working on it and put it and use it as a tool. But the mindset is if it started there. If it started there, or you just saying, "Hey, I'm stuck. I need this. I need a little bit of inspiration. I need that," and then you go there. But if you're starting off with it in the mindset, it's kind of like where I'm a little bit confused because what made you start doing music? Is it because the AI is easy and convenient to do it, Or is it something that you have always wanted to do and just was unable to do it, and you've tried and you tried, and now this tool assists you with being a little bit more adaptive to making it happen? So
Yeah.
I think that has a lot to do with it. And once again, just my personal experiences, because I'm on the cusp, is that I've done it organically. I've done it that way. I'm doing it exactly the way that what you're talking about is, and you know this from just this journey that you're going along with me as well. That it's been me taking things that I've already created, just on me. I'm not saying create me something out of nowhere and I don't know where I want to go with it. I'm taking it and I'm taking songs that I have and I'm putting them in there, or I'm restructuring them, recreating them, doing whatever I want to do with the music that I've already created, and it's being based on an end result already. See what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
the mindset of being like create me something and it doesn't have an end result, I'm giving it reference. I'm
Yeah.
saying here's the music, here's the track, here's the lyrics, here's everything. This is what I want
Yeah.
to do with it now. So that's a
And
little
that's
bit different.
completely different than me saying, "Hey, can you give me a
Hmm.
2-minute song of about you know peanut
Right.
butter and jelly." You know what I'm saying? That
Nothing
got
wrong with it, but yep,
you know what I mean, and
yeah,
make it sound whatever. That's a uh,
right. And
that's
and I
that's a
and I read
to,
something that's interesting. Just let me throw this in there as well. I read recently, and while I was going through this research, that it's something like 150,000 or 120,000 like songs that get uploaded per month or something like that, bro. I mean, that's a that's a
that's
damn
too many.
lot of music, bro. I can
Look,
only
that's
imagine
too
where
much.
these numbers are gonna be at now once with this. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Like this is a little bit added. These numbers are added in there, but wait till it fully takes swing, right?
yeah,
Because we know people that are in music and entertainment, and they won't even dabble, touch it. They're oblivious to how AI really works.
yeah,
And I know this
yeah.
because I bring it to the table and I've had one-on-one discussions with individuals, and before I even tell them what I'm doing and let them hear anything, it's a conversation that's like, wow, man, let me see if I could change their perspective, their optics on it. So um it's just crazy, and something food for thought. I'm just gonna throw this out here to you and our listeners.
I wasn't sure when you told me about it. Shit.
Right. I
Like at
wasn't
first, I
sure
was
when I
like,
told
man,
it.
I was like, okay, I want to see where this is gonna go
Right.
because because I'm like, how was he, And then I
Uh-huh.
was like, damn. And then I get the phone call, man. There's some crazy shit right here. God damn it! It doesn't
Yep.
listen. It's a
Yeah.
liar. This
Yeah.
motherfucker.
All of the above, man. I remember the
Yeah,
conversation when I
yeah,
told you about how it man, I was like,
yeah.
wait a minute. And then just it's crazy, man. So AI isn't the given all that's gonna just take over everybody. So let's throw that out the way. I don't put the trust that AI could do what I do better than I do it. I don't believe that without me having any input, put that way. Right?
Yeah.
Like a gun. Once again, you put a gun on a table, it doesn't have any bullets, if it don't have a clip, if it don't have a firing pin, if it doesn't have a finger to pull that trigger, if it's not set up to, I mean, there's so many factors, right, that go into making that a deadly weapon or the deadliest weapon.
Yep.
So I don't really fear AI in that sense. Now that I have a better understanding, I'm not ignorant to the fact, but hearing what he's saying, a lot of merit. And I'm gonna throw another twist into it because there's another artist called Baby Chief Do It. Basically, he's the next generation. He's one of the young talents. I'm not into him. I'll be honest. I don't know. I just came across him with this article, and because of what Freddie Gibbs is saying, and then how he is talking about it, two separate scenarios, but I'm making them together here is because he's admitted. Once again, this is Baby Chief Do It. He's admitted to using Chat GPT to help him or to write his music, and he's getting a lot of backlash from it because of his fans. Um, he claims that people are overreacting to it. In his defense, he says if chat was the solution, why would I give y'all the sauce? So that supposedly is saying is AI an assistant or a crutch, right? That's kind of like where they went with this article. Now,
Okay.
first of all, there's a lot of little things that I hear right there. When he comes out and just says, "Hey, I use it to write my lyrics." Now, he did say not all of them. He did say he uses it to help. He's not using it as a number one crutch as to do everything as a whole thing. Not as a 100% type of ghostwriter situation, but he does use it to aid him in creating all of his music. Um, I don't have a problem with that. I don't have a problem with that. But the problem is do people see? I'm letting people know this ahead of time too. Are these people saying this before the music hit? Or are they coming out in interviews and coming back and double back and saying that because somebody found out or being questioned? You know what I mean? Like there's also the integrity factor and accountability of it too. So I think if you have some type of transparency, then it's a lot easier, right? To say it's like a
Yeah.
relationship. Like if you're in a transparent relationship with your significant other, things don't explode and get to the point to where it's you can't recoup from it. You can't fix things
Yeah.
out because you're like, wait a minute, we already have this understanding. This is this. We just need to discuss it and get a clearer understanding now.
Yeah.
Um,
The only thing with I think with that, with him saying what he said, is that people will maybe question what bars were AI and what you know what I mean? That's the
right,
only thing, you know what I mean? And
right,
and that's where he's gonna have the issue. But
right.
but like he said, if it was the sauce, why would he spill it, right? Why would he share it? I get that. Like you wouldn't want anyone to know, right? If you got a hold of something,
That's
most
just like
people,
saying I'm not racist. My best friend's white.
yeah, I know.
That's it.
I'm just,
To me, it's just that's throwing it out there to try to divert the whole focus of what somebody's talking about. Because I don't know how true that is. What if he
yeah,
says, "Oh, they only wrote this part of the song," but it
yeah,
didn't. It wrote more of that. So now it comes down your integrity. Once again, are you transparent? So what you're saying is this: you got caught in something. Is it being brought up because hey, this is suspect? Or is it you
yeah,
coming out saying like everybody knows the title of my project, bro? Is this is I had a big discussion with my peoples about this, right? I said, should I do this because of the backlash of where AI is at on the fence? But the title of my whole project that's gonna come out is called AI has gone mad, right? So there's no questioning it. There's no hey, is this whatever, blah, 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 blah. But as I'm promoting it, I'm letting individuals know like this is my music. You can go 95% of this, you can go pull right now and go listen to the original, right? So you will see um there's added stuff that I did create this or add that and change it because of what I'm doing with it, right? It's just anything, right? But anyhow, I think that has a lot to do with it. And I'll ask you this: would you come to find out and support that if your favorite song or artist that you're listening to right now come to find out that they use AI to create that and you didn't know prior to, would you still support it? Does that change the way that you feel about it or the way you look at it? Or does it do nothing? Not change anything at all?
see, that's hard to say because I mean, if you like that song, you're gonna like that song.
Right.
You're not gonna be like, oh man, he didn't really write that. Well, shit, a lot of motherfuckers don't write the shit you listening to, so
That
it's coming
part.
out their
And
mouth. So
that's the thing is can AI be
you know what
used
I
as a
mean?
ghostwriter? You see what I'm saying? Because ghostwriters, like we're coming to find out now, so and so didn't write that song. So and so did you got these people that's coming out saying, I wrote that song and I'm not even paid for it.
Yeah.
So this goes on quite often, but I think AI, just because you're saying that it's an artificial intelligence or there's techie involved more than a human aspect, is where the problem is. Let's call a spade a spade. Because ain't nobody tripping on Dr. Dre. And we all know he don't write shit, right?
Nope.
So
Nada.
nobody trips. Nobody, it's
Yeah.
okay. We're okay to say that, and it's still okay to present him with an award for that song as the best song of whatever era that it was in. So
Mm-hmm.
we gotta peel the scab off and really look at the wound and see what we're talking about here, man. And I just want to throw the bigger picture out there. This is hip hop. We need to stop hip hop on hip hop crime. That's what we need to stop doing. We need to stop trying to find ways to degrade this form of music, and that we still control at some point, because every other genre of music has been taken. We don't control it no more. I can guarantee you this: in 10 years, we keep going down this path of hip hop on hip hop crime, we're gonna lose the control of this one too, man. We're gonna
Yeah.
lose it. We're gonna have to come up and create something all brand new, all again, and try to see if we can maintain that. Because you know what they're saying right now, right? Oh, it was ironic that when you hear these people to talk about, and I'm just gonna say this, but let's not go into it because it's not that segment, about these towns that they want to be all white towns, right? And they say they don't want the rap music, they don't want this, they don't want all of that. What the fuck are y'all kids listening to then? Right? So what are you gonna do? They're going out, they're the ones that are going to, they're the ones that support this more than other cultures, bro. So that behooves me. That fucking really behooves me. And then when you go on top of all of that, what about all the inventions that non-whites have created? So anyhow, we're not going to get into that whole conversation, but it's a big deal when it comes into hit music, because it comes in,
Yeah.
they come in, they learn it, and they take it, and then they point fingers. But here, we're doing this to ourselves. We're doing this to ourselves because we don't want to let AI help them. Like we have to look at that on a broader picture, you guys, before we start denouncing individuals. I get it. I'm on the side of the organic side, but after messing around and playing with AI and learning it as a tool, not as my wherewithal, that is my workstation, that's everything that I'm doing, but just as a tool, I don't I don't I don't find the same sentiment, my guy, that I did when I first was ignorant to it. I was really, really like, hell no, hell no, hell no, hell. Now I understand. It's like, wait a minute, like this, and I'm sure it's going to get to a point to where it can do more on its own. But as where we're at right now, it takes a lot of the human aspect and input. And yes, it could do great things, but without the human input, it's not going to be the bomb stuff that we're talking about. So just keep that in mind, you guys. Is it the same thing as using sample packs? That's another thing I want to throw out there. Is it the same? Because I mean, everybody's using a sample pack. Everybody's going out and buying
Yeah.
sounds. I mean, it's the thing, right? You have all of these companies that like Splice and all these other ones that where you can go and just buy sounds, or you got these producers, they sell sample packs, sound packs.
Yep.
So is it anything different? You know what I'm saying? And once again, AI is in arcade output. AI is in drum loops and machines that are creating these bass chords and loops for you. That's all AI driven. It's just a different type of AI. So before we go ahead and once again and denounce something, let's look at everything and get the full knowledge behind it. So as we always do on here, we're going to keep on bringing you more and more information, keeping you abreast of what's going on in the world of AI. But I'm going to bring another artist into this fold, that how he's an older artist, but yet he's for the AI, and that's Beanie Siegel. Beanie Siegel, who we all know, he's one of the individuals that had a great run with Rockefeller and State Property and all of them, right? Like he was right there with Jay-Z at the pinnacle, and Dame Dash and all of these individuals. But tragically, he ends up losing a lot of his power in his voice. It started to deteriorate, and one of the things is that he wanted to go ahead, and it was after an injury in 2014, actually. But it started to make his voice a lot more grittier. We've seen this also with the DLC. So these are great writers. These were great artists, great lyricists, great everything in what they do, and they still write and they still are part of it, but they can't use their voice, which is something that was given to them that got them to where they're at. But he's using it to recreate his original voice, so that way he can continue to create music. And once again, I am talking about Beanie Siegel using AI as voice resurrection. He has recently did a verse on a song called Motion Picture. It is, I believe, the D. Dot Jones. D. Jones is the artist. And there's another featured artist on there as well. But hey, bro, I'm gonna tell you this: they made his voice sound exactly like it used to be. Because I've heard
Oh
songs
yeah.
with him. I've heard,
Now see, yeah, I've heard some newer stuff, and it would like it wasn't
right.
that wasn't that that beanie that we
Mhm.
know. You know what I'm saying? Like
It was a whole
yeah.
different beings, right? So
Even when you heard the interviews, you was like,
right,
okay, he done been through some shit and whatever. You know what I mean? So I
yeah,
was like,
it's a
damn, his voice.
strain for him to talk. That injury makes
Yeah.
it sound like, what's his name? Terrence. Um, what's his name? Terrence Howard. Is that his
Terrence
name?
Howard.
Or Terrence, the dude who does the talks like Hustle and Flow.
Yeah, yeah, man.
Yeah,
Come
yeah.
on, man.
His sound, his voice started to sound like that.
Who's his line? Is that Larry?
Everybody's heard. Nah, that's Johnny.
No, that's Johnny.
D said what's up. He said what's up. Everybody's already done. Okay, thank you. I appreciate you. My bad, bro. My bad, y'all.
All good.
Yeah, that song Motion Picture, bro. You got to pull it up. I didn't get a chance to have it queued for us to play. I could try to look for it and play it, but since it's not our music, I don't even want to have to be dealing with
Yeah.
the issues. But check it out, man. Like I said, it's D. Jones. The name of the song is called Motion Picture, and it's featuring Beanie Siegel. He definitely got his voice back on this, bro. And it was to me, bro. I was in awe because I once again, you're still using AI, but this is where I could see it as being very, very um worthy for its creation, for like the DOC, like I said, Beanie Siegel, a lot of these older rock band artists that they get them raspy voices because
I'm
they're
gonna look that up.
performing thrashing music and stuff
DLC.
like that, right? Right. So I think that's a great thing. It's bringing back a piece of his legacy. He gets a second chance to do something that he was great at, and it's giving him man hope. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's great. Now, would you guys out there want to hear your favorite artist basically preserved in the same way if they had lost their voice? Some people don't like hearing the AI versions of Pac, but who knows if the family members enjoy hearing that, right? There might be something there that there keeps them something to hold on to. But just something to think about because we only look at the way it's created now and not holding on to people's legacies. Now, once they're passed and gone away, I don't know how much that's gonna make people go into it. Maybe that has a reason to be with the Pac situation because he's not here. Whereas DOC, Beanie Siegel, these people are still here. They're being a part of the recreation process. So you kind of have to see it and be like, hey, if they're okay with it, who am I, right? Who am I to go ahead and denounce that? If they're part of creating their voice to be able to do what they do. But definitely something to think about, man. Salute the techies for at least that one. I hope Beanie Siegel, I hope
No.
DLC, any of those other individuals that got issues with their voice. I hope that this is something that you can use and you know what I'm saying, it works in the manner that you want to use it as the tool. So
Definitely.
um all right, so
I'm
I
gonna
do.
look this up.
What's up, my man?
I said I gotta look that up later, man.
It's all good. I
Yeah,
like I could do it too, man, but like I said,
I can't get it up right now.
don't. Ooh, sounds good. um the next thing, bro, I don't know if anybody's really remembered this, but it's going into the whole LL Cool J declaring himself as the greatest or the GOAT. um it was more to it, man. And I realized what he was saying at when in this newer, because when he said it like that, it's like, people are gonna start saying, "What
Well,
about this?" Like the Kendricks, the Waynes, the Hoes, the Nas's. Everybody's gonna start throwing these other individuals out there, right? But I will say this, man. I will give LL Cool J something in this interview. He said there's a lot of things that he started. There's a lot of things that he created and brought into this. He was the first artist signed to Def Jam. He was the first artist to talk about bling bling jewelry, bringing those big flashy rings, the Ford all across the knuckles, the LL Cool J. He made, him and Run DMC, they made fashion. right? They brought the whole fashion and tied it in with hip hop because remember the Kango, the sexiness that he would come out and all the whole LL, right? Like that was his whole mantra and gimmick.
Lady Love Cool J.
Right, right. But it was
Hey,
like that, and it's true when he's saying it. It's like, well, shit, who was doing it before that? Nobody
yeah,
was doing it like
all
that.
the love songs.
Right, I'm about to say
Nobody
the
was
love
doing rap
songs,
love
he made
songs,
it
bro.
okay to be a rapper, a hardcore rapper at that. Because remember, he was in some of the most iconic beefs. I mean, the Kumo D and LL Cool J beefs were probably like the earliest, besides like the MC Shy D's and Shans and
Chance and BDP with
EDPs,
KRS, yeah.
right? Those. But I'm talking about like a real like, hey, I'm on your bumper, like not just a line here or there,
Yeah.
or I
They was
get it.
dissing
Break
each
it
other
over.
album covers, bro.
Yeah.
Running over Kangos and
It
shit.
was
They
their
was doing
single.
it.
That's what I'm saying. It would be their singles, bro. So it's kind of
Yeah.
like what Kendrick and Drake kind of we're at right now. It's almost on that, or Joey Badass, what he's trying to do. And shout out Kevin Ali stepping up and swinging the bat at him.
Yep.
But it's almost kind of like where that is. So let's reverse it all the way back. So what he's saying is, and not even that. Remember, he came up and coined the phrase "goat."
He did. He did. He did.
Coined that.
Yeah,
He
he did.
coined that, bro. So um, we have to take all of that into perspective. And he went back on and he says, I'm not saying that when I say I'm saying it because when it's all done and said, and when you look at the body of work, and he says that he goes, in years to come, people are gonna look back and they're gonna say, like, man, this dude was underappreciated. And I can understand that because we the era that he did all
Hey,
this,
I was a Cool J fan. I used to love when them albums
he,
dropped because he
bro,
was gonna give you a little bit of everything, right?
man,
Booming Systems,
when I'm
going back to
bad, bro,
Cali, like all them.
yeah. But when I'm bad dropped and he came jumping off of that core, homie, and started rocking, bro, I knew every sway, every rock, every man. I was doing that whole video from top to bottom, bro.
Yeah, yeah,
Like you couldn't
yeah,
tell me he wasn't the baddest shit moving, bro. And then, like I
yep.
said, I mean, who could do a song like what was it called? Pink elephants being crushed by tall
Yeah,
buildings or
pink.
something
Yeah,
like
yeah.
something
Pink,
crazy,
pink
bro.
cookies in a plastic bag
Plastic
being
bag,
crushed by
yeah.
buildings. Yeah,
Something. I'm like, bro, like what the hell? So remember, he started talking about weed. He was one of the first ones to ever hear weed, or what he called it, reefer. You know what I mean? Like, so you
yep,
go back and really
yep.
listen to it, bro. He was one of the first to do a lot of things. So
Big trendsetter.
big trendsetter. And I think that's
Yeah,
basically what he was saying in the nutshell is that I trendset it. And not only that, he's still moving. He just dropped a project.
yeah,
You
yeah,
know what I'm saying? And he's
yeah,
on TV, movies, I mean,
yeah.
bro, he's not losing any type
Any
of validity at what he's doing.
at
And this
all.
is all based on what? His
Yeah.
image that he was able to create, bro.
Hey, and I did security. He did Bottle Rock 1 year, and we got to see him perform. Hey, he get down, bro.
Oh, yeah, he's a
I've seen him in
performer.
concert myself,
He's a
but
performer.
he get down, man.
Mhm.
He give you,
He had
even
live
now,
DJs. Man, he was one of the ones
yeah,
that
he
do
could DJ too.
school DJs. You know what I'm saying? Like that
Yeah,
these are unheard things, bro. Like we don't see anymore. So it's easy to forget. It's
yeah,
easy to be like, whatever, and keep it and give a full show. If anybody's ever out there perform, for one, you got to get your wind in. Like if you go talk and see the studies on Outkast and Goody Mob and all of them, they train. That's why they went to the dungeon family, right? That's why they were called that because it was a house. They stayed at. You had the boot camp. You had to recite your verses running miles and then running it backwards and reciting your. I mean, they train so that way their articulation and what they're saying and their breathing and everything was right. You don't see that now. You see these dudes walk across back and forth on stage and get tired, and they still got to do and drop it,
I
and they
am
got the
doing
lyrics,
nothing.
and they got the lyrics going on behind them, and they still can't keep up. They too
Yeah,
worried about whatever it is that they're doing, bro.
yeah.
And I'm gonna go on the record and say this that I do believe. I'm not gonna say he's the GOAT. I don't think he is the greatest to ever do it, but I will say he is probably one of the most innovative, and
And
if not one of the most influential of artists of art of hip hop. Period.
yeah, Period.
and still being influential because man, dude, you got to look up to that and be like, hey, I want my career to be something like that, like an Ice-T, right? Like that's still in demand. Like these dudes, they're still performing, they're still going out doing shows, they still got to do their television shows or whatever that they're a part of, and they got personalities. Like LL's been on fun comedies, he's been on dramas, he's been on thrillers, and he's done every type of music. Like you said, man, the like going back to Cali, bro. Shit, we redid that Pomona Killer Cali. Like that's how it's like, hey, bro, that's we gotta touch that, right? And then Who Do You Love and I Need Love, and then all the way to the hardcore stuff, bro. Come on, man. Salute that man. I'm not gonna let it
Yeah.
go. Salute that man.
Yep, for sure. Yeah. I remember when he dropped on Bad.
Yeah.
He was remember the Claremont College's little radio station they had on Friday nights.
Kevin Sakota.
Yeah. And so I remember he was in the studio
Mhm.
and they was like, hey, get your cassettes ready. We're gonna play the album in its entirety. And I was bro. I was in there ready and ran out of space on the flip side.
Yeah, man. I know about
Yeah,
it,
but
bro.
those were them days, right? I was like, I ain't gotta go buy it. Cool, I'm gonna do it like this, right?
You
That was
thought-
our streaming, right?
Yep.
Hey,
Yep.
can you dub this for me, homie?
Mhm.
I'll bring you
Yep.
a cassette. Hold on. And your mom be like, where my Earth, Wind, and Fire cassette? Shit, we erased over that. My bad.
Right.
You know. Yeah.
Definitely, man. But
Yeah.
it is something that we can't just look at the here and now and forget about the days of when and who late. Like I said, you can't forget about. I watched an episode on MC Light. Not realizing she was the first female to ever win an award.
Yeah.
A first female. Like so, like how do you overlook those things? How do you? And because you got all of these people that's doing it now, and they've surpassed numbers and streams or whatever it may be, right? And notoriety, but you can't overlook the people that made it even.
Bars too.
Yeah, and she's like she just dropped an album this past within the past
I
year.
was seeing her when I graduated high school. I got to see her live at Grand Night. We went to Grand Night, and I was like, "What?"
That's right.
I was like, "Man, I'm headed to the MC Light spot, bro. I ain't worried about nobody else right now."
Right.
I was like,
that's dope. That's dope,
yeah,
man.
she put on a good show too. For for it to be some high school, it was dope.
Hey, I salute the MC Light too. Like I said, I mean, these are people that, and you got to also look at the resistance that these individuals had. Like now, everybody, we got to stop looking at it how easy it is now to do what we do. That I mean,
It's a little
to
too
studio time, to get to a studio, to be a woman in a man's driven industry at that time, and talking unity, talking positive. Like remember her, Queen Latifah, Moni Love. These individuals, they were bringing positive music. Yeah, they had their songs here and there, but it was mostly preaching about positivity and things of that alike. So anyway, once again, you know what I'm saying, we can get going into history, but that's the reason why I like talking about this, bro, because this is stuff that I know there's individuals that came on our show, that we know, my offsprings even included, that I try to give as much of the older music, shows, TV, movies, all of that as possible, because bro, like it's everything is just done different. Like the if you go look at a Star Wars movie from the 70s and look at the new Star Wars movies, totally different, right? But if you look at it, it's like, how the fuck were they doing that back then? Right? Just like if you listen to a Parliament album, or if you listen to a Prince album, like how are they mixing it back then? Because now everything is digital. You can have 100 tracks right here on your computer. Back then, you didn't have 100 tracks just sitting right in front of you like this. You had to bounce stuff, stack this, roll down there to get levels, roll back over here to get this level, tell them to press that at the same time you're doing this. There's a lot of shit going on. So we're gonna keep all of that on these lives, and man, if Effects was here, bro, we probably wouldn't even get a word in.
I know. I already know. I done watched him work. Dude, yeah.
Right, man. So
That's-
it's definitely, a blessing to. It's almost kind of like when who's that said, hey, he played with Jordan, Kobe, and LeBron. Like, just imagine like a person that has that, or a person that was coached by Pat Riley, Phil Jackson, what I'm saying, and Pop, right? So just think like these are feats in this that you look at and be like, man, that's a blessing. So I think it's been a blessing to be a part of seeing the birth of hip hop, seeing
Yeah.
it, the government and everybody trying to stop it. Like you said, it's a fad. Everybody thought it was going to go away. So now
Yeah.
it turning into the number one way of everything has to have some type of inner correlation to hip hop.
Yeah.
You can't watch
Urban.
right. You can't watch a commercial, you can't
Nope.
watch a movie, you can't watch a TV show, you can't watch a sporting event, you can't go to a sporting event, you can't go to the mall, you can't go to anywhere that's playing music. Everywhere you go, there's going to be some type of hip hop involved.
Yeah.
So I mean, and now remember when you was helping me out with getting some of the stuff registered or whatever, man, and how many
Yes.
genres.
Oh
of the
my
stuff you were
goodness.
going down the list, bro. I was like, this,
It was
y'all
bro,
made-
I really you had me baffled because I was like, why is it so it's a lot? That's
Mhm.
too many. Like,
yeah.
that's too many. How can you even how do
It's
you even know you fall in a category, right? Like there's so many choices. I was like, I guess, maybe. Hold on. You said what again? Oh
Right.
shit. Take
I
that
know.
back. Like,
I know. As soon as you
Yeah.
say that one fits, and then we keep going, it's like, well, wait a minute. What'd you say last time? Because that one fits. And this is like, yeah, bro.
Yeah.
So I guess
Yeah,
they
that
can
was
just
a
have
trip.
everybody, just your first name, right? Is a category, a genre. Kevin genre, right? So it's like, hey, I'll be in that one. But it's crazy,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah, it was a trip.
I'm gonna get more and more and more. But yeah,
Yep.
you know what? It looks like we've had enough ranting going on today for the session live, y'all, at 9 p.m. on Sundays. Thank y'all for tapping in. If this is on a rewatch,
Yeah.
go ahead and tap us.
Appreciate you.
Yeah, tap in and let us know you didn't catch the live, but you caught it on a rewatch, and leave us a comment what you like, what you didn't like, what we could do better, what we can enhance. And if you want to, once again, if y'all want to come on and be a part of this, man, y'all know how to do it. You can go ahead and take us out, D, and then we'll drop it. I'll go ahead and give them another preview, bro.
Fuck them kids. Just don't fuck with mine.
All
How was that for an ending? Oh, shit.
I love it.
Man, be nice to somebody, y'all.
Yeah, always, man. Do that. Be nice. Keep positivity out there, and share your experiences, because then it goes a long way. People could understand the reason why you might have a little fucked off attitude, because you know what, guys, you had a fucked off past, but you're trying to change it.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Like we always do about this time, y'all. Things of that nature. Doc Madness, Thing Dose with my partner, Thing Uno, Chef
know it,
D.
Left Coast Kings, baby.
All day, man. And we're gonna leave
Yeah.
with another one until this drops. I'm gonna go ahead and tap in, and here it goes, man. It is Doc Madness on my own preview of the single with the video, with a companion of an audio book that's dropping. All that will be coming shortly in post and everything to stay abreast, and we'll go ahead and keep you in tune until the next time.
Yeah, I'm on my grown man, talking everything I do. Glass tip, the blunt ain't sipping on the Fresca too. DMP's the crew, LA Clipper hat and hoodie too. Double SR since day one, my whole catalog's the proof. Been doing what I wanna do, rock what I want to, stop that I won't do. Pop back on Pro Tools, body in the paint, NBA like it old school. Pomona bread, north side of jumping out the old school. On D's with B's and C's, OGs roll through. R.I.P. Big Steve and my dukes, I miss and love you. My little twos turned into fours, watching my every move. Swerving in and out of them lanes, making them Cali moves.
Saving the nation.